What's up, guys? Our two Detour Bros are back with another episode. I'm Tom, here with Josh. We're back with another Star Wars battle for this episode, facing off first two of our favorite oversized characters, Chewie versus Zeb. After, we'll take to the stars with two of our best pilots in the universe, non-force using pilots, that is, Hera versus Poe. Don't forget to check out the poll after you're done listening to this episode and give us your thoughts.
All right, we're going to talk about Zeb and Chewie. We have two very similar characters, I think, and I would also think we have one very famous, well-known character and one that's probably not as well-known. What do you think? Does that sound about right to you?
I think people would recognize him, but they wouldn't be able to see why. He is going to be in the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I did see that in the trailer.
I have seen that, which is kind of cool. I also he was in, now come to think of it, you're right.
He was in the Mandalorian.
Was he in the Mandalorian or was he in Ahsoka?
Maybe it was Ahsoka. I think it was Ahsoka.
Okay. Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to... Oh, did I watch 3 of Mando? I think I did. I forget it. I'm rewatching it now. But is 3 or the movie's gonna tie in somewhere with like after the first Ahsoka, right? Or something like that?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I have been trying to stay oblivious to the movie for as long as possible so I can be joyfully surprised whenever it comes out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So maybe more people know Zeb. Zeb Orrelios? Garzeb?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, Garzeb Orrelios, I don't know. He was born 44 BBY, so significantly younger than Chewie. And if I'm not mistaken, Zeb's species, which is a Lasat, is somewhat similar to aging like humans, maybe?
I think so.
And less like Wookiees. So people are going to start seeing Zeb. You're right. And people may like him. We'll see how that he's portrayed, I suppose, too. Because I liked him. He was first created in Rebels, right?
Yes.
I liked him. I liked the character. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I have no grievance against Zeb. I liked him fully.
Thought it was great. Thought he was great. Fantastic. So we'll see how he is in the movie versus the show. I forget how. Yeah. Now, he's Lasat. His homeworld was Lazon, and he's 254 pounds and 6'11", and he's a little shorter than Chewie, quite a bit shorter than Chewie, but a little
like
heavier.
Almost a foot.
He's got a similar backstory to Chewie, though. He's got the upbringing and joining of his homeworld's military, and after that, his homeworld got wiped out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it looks like they adopted another planet. That's the Lyson.
Yeah, their world got wiped out by the Galactic Empire, I guess, at that point. So he has a very similar backstory, because the Battle of Kashyyyk was a big thing that happened and captured and enslaved all of the Wookiees, and I don't think they actually destroyed the planet, did they?
No, they did not destroy the planet, because I think there was an episode in Rebels where they went back.
Okay, yeah, I remember going back in several games and hearing about it, so I didn't quite remember. So at least their planet didn't get wiped out. I don't quite. It sounds like the Lasan planet got wiped out, glassed over. Maybe I don't know, but they have very similar stories, except for Chewie getting captured and enslaved,
A couple of times.
and then getting free, capturing and enslaved. He was freed by a Padawan, and then captured and enslaved. So
The Padawan
after
being Ahsoka.
right after the planet got wiped out, or whatever exactly happened. I don't know the full backstory of Zeb, but I do know what is mostly in Rebels, and then that's when he finds is it Kanan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was a Jedi Padawan at the time of Order 66. You correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Yes, he was.
Was a Padawan at the time of Order 66
He's
and
in the
survived.
last season of Clone Wars. You see, or it was it Clone Wars? I think it was Clone Wars that opened up with him in it.
Okay, I'd have to rewatch that then. I would enjoy the last season of Clone Wars, actually. That was probably my favorite. I should just rewatch that season instead of the whole thing again.
Yeah, he was in something, or maybe it was Bad Batch. He was in one of those. It was a flashback,
Oh, okay.
or maybe
I
the
am
opening of the Bad Batch.
okay.
You got to see Kanan. He was the Jedi that escaped from that fight.
Okay, yep. I think I do remember that now. Which is a newer show too that I actually have not finished. Have you finished that one?
I don't remember.
I know I've started it. I want to finish it. I know there's a couple seasons now. So
I think it's done.
okay, so a couple seasons done. That'll be good. I'll have a conclusion to the story. I love that. Watch a couple seasons, be done. Perfect. Where Zeb's story really starts is in Rebels. And he's joined with Kanan and I guess who's with him? Hera.
Mm-hmm.
And what's Kanan's last name? If you don't know off the top of my head, we can circle back whenever we get it. But Hera, Syndulla, and I don't remember if there was anybody else. I know Chopper. He's an awesome droid. Pretty cool. He's on there with them as well. But then that's the beginning of Ezra. That show shows the full beginning before Ezra even knows anything about the Force.
Oh, hold on. Quick little tidbit that I just stumbled upon. The Lasat species are based on the early concept drawings of the character that would become Chewbacca.
That's funny. That's neat.
So all of those who are listening, we should go look up the original drawing of Chewbacca. He's quite freaky.
That's funny.
So funny that we're comparing the two.
Yeah, for sure. Rebels.
Kanan Jarrus. There we go. Sorry.
Kanan Jarrus. Rebels has them as a small little group of rebels unknown to the giant, I guess, rebellion. And they were pulling off so many jobs until that they became heard by the rebellion and then eventually recruited into the bigger rebellion. I think they fight against Vader.
Mm-hmm. They do at one point.
Hondo, the pirate, Maul, several or at least one or couple Inquisitors.
Yeah, that's where the Inquisitors came from, was, I believe, from Rebels.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I think that was the first official canon of Inquisitors. I could be mistaken. Please do not.
Well, at least I'm with you that it's the first time I'm have witnessed it in canon stuff. So
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. If there was something else, it's the first time that I'd seen it.
yeah.
Now, Chewie, we've talked about, he he was a combat engineer, and then he was captured, escaped, captured. Then there was the Battle of Kashyyyk, and then there was Order 66. He's captured and enslaved again. And he fought in the Clone Wars. He fought with Yoda, with the Jedi in the Clone Wars. He pretty much had that rise up in combat, like rise, fall, whatever, until he met Han Solo, and then they kind of which they get into some stuff too.
Yeah.
But Chewie really didn't have, I don't know, meaning until, I guess, did he give the life debt? I think he gave the life debt to Han.
Yes, which was in Solo.
Okay, yeah. So he gave the life debt, and a Wookiee life debt is something that is taken very serious in the Wookiee, and it means they owe their life to you, and they will be by your side until, I don't even know if Han. I think Han can say, "I no longer want you," but I'm not sure. Either way, the Wookiee life debt is very serious. That's actually in Knights of the Old Republic, the first Star Wars role-playing game, RPG. That game has one of the Wookiee characters in it that gives a life debt to a character. I learned about the Wookiee life debt from that game.
Before it was cool.
in that game, but I'm not sure if they mention it in the old Star Wars, like in the original trilogy. Do they mention a life debt?
No, they just kind of like, there's Chewie.
Okay. I'd be curious to go back. I'd really like to see if there's something like he pledged something to me. Like if there was something, whether they called it a life debt or not.
I don't think they did.
Okay. I don't know. I'm curious. It just gives me a reason to watch Star Wars. Chewie, he's 7'6", 7 foot 6 inches, 247 pounds. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. He's married, has a kid.
Okay, are we counting the holiday special as canon? Which I still have yet to watch, so I know Luke looks like he's on crack.
I've not seen it either.
I've been trying to find it. I know Disney Plus released it like for a day.
Both are pretty good at hand-to-hand combat. I would think Chewie's going to be physically a little stronger, maybe. I don't know if it's much. I don't know if it's much stronger or a little stronger. That was my maybe.
I think Chewie is stronger.
Yeah, I think he is stronger, but is it by a lot or is it by a little bit? Because he's a lot stronger than a lot of beings. But is he a lot stronger than Zeb? I think so, probably.
You haven't seen Zeb do any of the feats of strength like Chewie or any Wookiees have.
No, that's true.
So I don't know if it's
I do think it's
Zeb
a lot stronger.
just like holding out, or if it's
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Chewie is with weapons. I know he always has his crossbow. Yeah, always has that thing. I think super cool. But how good is he overall? I don't know. Maybe he's fantastic, maybe not. I have seen Zeb shoot a lot more different types of weapons than Chewie.
Yes.
So Zeb might have an edge.
Fair, if he has his crossbow, you don't really have to be good at it. You just have to be kind of close with it.
Yeah, no, he does the job. I would think if they get close, Chewie wins. If Chewie touches him, Chewie wins.
I think it would be like one of those like, oh, Zeb might have a chance, and then Chewie just like rips his arms off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chewie would come into surprising. I don't know how to gauge any sort of strength attributes, and I don't know how to dive into that and then actually talk about canon stuff. I don't know. We'd have to dive into what Chewie has lifted versus what Zeb has lifted, I suppose. But I would pick Chewie. I would pick Chewie. I think that somehow Chewie would. He's he's older now. Here's the thing. Is how old is Chewie? So Chewie's born in 200 BBY and Zeb
It's
44
44
BBY.
BBY. Yeah.
That's significant age gap.
Meaning that he has way more experience, most likely.
Yeah. And that's what I would bet on is experience.
But Chewie does have a temper, but so does Zeb, so I don't.
Yeah, that's
Never
tough.
mind.
Yeah, you're right. Like they both equally could get angry and slip up, or whatever. It's happened. Chewie's been enslaved and Zeb's been in some stuff I don't know off the top of my head. I've only seen Rebels once. But you're absolutely right. They both have a temper. I could see Zeb winning in some sort of gunfight where he can't get hit by that thing.
Yeah. I think Chewie is also, I don't think he's as resilient. Because you see Chewie get hurt a lot and then he's just down for the count for the rest of the fight.
It's possible, yeah.
I think that just comes with like a slower healing factor because he is older, bigger.
Yeah, that's possible. You're right. It'd be hard for me to bet against the
7 foot tall.
the taller, but also the more experience. While he's still like not old,
Yeah.
so that's like very prime experience. And
Yeah.
in
Did
his
we
younger age, you could argue is when he
research
was getting captured.
about how long they can? Around 400 years, so he's like middle aged.
Okay. Yeah. So Chewie slips up a lot in his younger years, gets captured, enslaved, and then now we're comparing a current Chewie to a current Zeb, and it's just hard. It'd be hard to bet against Chewie.
Yeah. I'd have to agree.
Maybe the younger Chewie that was getting enslaved. Yeah. But now I don't think so. I don't. I mean it could happen and it wouldn't be like shocking, and I don't think Chewie I wouldn't surprise me if Chewie shocked us at how quick it would win, but it wouldn't necessarily be surprising if Zeb could win. Like I said, because I could see something with the guns or the gunfight. But
Yeah.
I would just think it would be Chewie.
Yeah. If Chewie got close enough, he would 100% like hand to hand combat just
Yeah,
put one in on him.
yeah.
But
Chewie lived through Han and Ben getting killed. Look at that.
yeah. Leia, Luke, all of them.
All right, we agree on that one. Let's go on to the next one. We got two pilots lined up. We've talked about these, I think, in the past.
Yeah, we talked about just best pilot in general.
Yep.
Um, there was a
and-
comment on our YouTube page. I don't know if you saw it. Hera was a great pilot, but Poe Dameron, legendary fighter pilot, Han is better navigator and a decent pilot. Poe Dameron is the only fighter pilot in the room, where Han and Poe are alone in the room. Hera mostly ran as a pilot. Dameron killed 7 new model TIEs in 5 seconds, and Ahsoka was as good as Hera. So,
yeah. Okay. So we'll take out, if we're going to talk about pilots and what we're doing, especially I think in this episode, is we're cutting out, and I think we did it. We mentioned it last in that episode,
yeah.
where force sensitive beings are going to be better pilots. And so to take them out almost to make it fair for everybody else, we've kind of cut them out, right?
Yeah.
Especially tonight. Like, don't we agree that Anakin is one of the best pilots,
Correct.
if not the
Yes.
best pilot ever? So we can't really, I mean, if we're just going to throw him in, we're looking for 2, or we can just say, hey, we could take out all the Jedi
Yeah.
who are cheating. There's a bunch there. But, especially in this episode, there are 2 non-force sensitive pilots.
Correct.
And I agree that the dog fighting is 100% Poe.
Oh yeah.
Poe was in a very organized resistance that was larger, I think. I feel.
Then the original.
Well, then at least Hera's early age with Ghost.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily Poe's younger. I feel like we haven't really seen too much of a young Poe. I'd have to look up more of Poe. We can read, some things here. We can talk about some of the stuff here that I've looked up. We can give a little, I guess, intro. Are we going to go with the dogfight or who's a better pilot? I mean, there's going to be two different conversations.
So I think since this is a versus, I think we could say like maybe not like who in their fight or who would win
Yeah. And we kind of did that
in their
with
respective ship, I think. But and then also another thing, if it's hand-to-hand combat, I think Hera would single-handedly destroy Poe or weapons again. Like with I almost wanted to call them phasers.
Yeah. So
Wrong
Hera,
fandom. Sorry guys.
Hera is Hera Syndulla. She is daughter of gosh, I forget his name.
Kame?
Doesn't matter
Shame?
as much.
Or Alani? Alani? Nope.
I don't remember. She is a Twi'lek, and from Ryloth is her home world. She is a fantastic tactician and very good marksman, like you said. She has a lot of engineering skills too. If you've watched any of Rebels, she fixes her ship a lot. She has help from Chopper though. Chopper's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chopper's really cool. She was born in 29 BBY, so she's what at what point does Rebels start? I don't know. I forget. But she was born. BBY is with the Star Wars beginning, right? So she was born 29
Oh, Hera was in Bad Batch. I just
before.
now realized that was her. Remember that
Okay.
episode? Sorry.
I'd have to look that one up. So she left her home and her family to pursue her dream as a pilot, and then she traveled the galaxy in her ship, the Ghost, looking for her to build her own resistance movement. And she is in, we said, Rebels, the show, that's an animated show, and you see her with her crew, which has Zeb and the people we talked about earlier, and they do lots of little missions on their own, and they end up getting into a lot of stuff. But they get very noticed by Bail Organa, I think. Yeah, Bail Organa. And then he was trying to organize different rebellion cells across galaxy and brought Hera in to lead one of them. Poe is Poe Dameron, who is a very skilled fighting pilot. He's probably the best, maybe, that I've seen, or at least that we've seen in Star Wars. I don't know how Anakin's a great pilot, but I don't know what Anakin. Yeah, Poe's pretty damn good in an X-wing. Poe's pretty good in an X-wing.
Not just in an X-wing, he's really good at just picking up and flying off on anything.
You're right, because he's escaped.
Because he has proven that.
Yep, so he can pick up some different ships pretty quickly. But I just want to, in a dogfight, his X-wing is, I feel like, what he needs to make him as good as he can be. As far as hand-to-hand or marksman, I would say you're right, not as good as Hera.
Yeah, and I think it's mainly because Hera has had the training, way more training than he has.
Yeah, and so we'll get to, then Poe was born in 2 ABY, so significantly was at 31 years younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say Poe what is this here? I have 3 years prior to his birth, Poe's voice was heard by Padawan Ezra at the time, which I guess is a distinction between just Ezra during his mission to the worlds between worlds.
Hmm.
Yeah, I looked that up or saw that somehow. Interesting. So he was born in 2 ABY, but 3 years prior, Ezra heard him. So Ezra's older, right? Much older.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and at that time, yeah, that would line up because Ezra would have been, yep.
Ezra was born in 19 BBY.
Yeah. So that
10
would have
years younger
been,
than Hera.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Hera was like the mom of the group. She
Yeah.
was like the mom of the group of the ship. That was like her ship. She was like the mother. So Poe began flying at 6 in his mother's A wing, and his parents had been part of the Republic before he was born. So at age 16, he flew a ship into space that was shot down. He was then arrested, put to jail. His father got him out, and then he joined a spice running crew, and he ran into trouble. But he later joined the Navy, and he rose to commander through the New Republic. That's when he met Leia, and he joined, convinced to join the Resistance. So he seems to be pretty good at flying. He's got like a little bit of a, I don't know, a Han feel to him, but much more dedicated.
Yeah, I would agree.
But what we've seen, especially in whatever movie that was when he shot down those new, in that YouTube comment.
I think that was Force Awakens.
Yeah, the new TIE models,
Yeah.
Force Awakens. That sounds right. Yep. That was pretty impressive. You know, that was really that was really impressive.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, let me see. If I'm not mistaken, Hera has outmaneuvered Anakin in Rebels. I'd have to now look that up. I wrote it down, but I didn't reference it. Oh, I might be wrong.
I think they might have escaped, but it was like,
Yeah, so she might have like maybe not out dog fought Anakin, but she was
no,
able
there's no
to,
way she would have been able
yeah,
to out dogfight
escape.
him. But I think they escaped, and I think it might have been like an explosion or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say something blocked him from them.
And that was their opportunity.
So maybe that was tactical, which doesn't surprise me because Anakin is a hothead.
Yeah. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
Which
just is
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
Did you see? Sorry, this is kind of off topic. Did you see there's a Maul TV show? Darth
Yeah,
Maul.
I actually watched most of it. I need to rewatch it because I'm not sure if I was awake for all of them. I think I watched it in bed and fell asleep for episodes, but then
I was
picked
waiting
up the
for it
next
all
one.
to come out before I watched it.
But I think all I have left is, I thought, the finale. But I liked it so far. I'm definitely going to watch it again, and we should definitely talk about it.
Yeah, we should talk about it soon.
Yeah, we could do it next episode if you want.
Yeah.
Next episode will happen once we finish Maul. We have to finish Maul.
There's 10 episodes. I think 10 of them released. Oh yeah,
Nice.
Star Wars Day was they released the last 2 episodes.
Okay, perfect. Actually, that was, I think, around the time I started or just after. So that makes sense. I think the unwatched finale, but I think before I even watch that, I'm going to the whole thing.
Yeah. I did see some clips of it, and I'm a little upset that I saw some clips of it because I want to watch it all for the first time.
Yeah, I actually didn't know anything about it until I saw it on Disney. But I believe I found it on Star Wars Day or the weekend before, because the weekend before we were watching The Mandalorian. That might have been what it was. Yep.
Which I gotta
So
watch before. At least watch the latest season. Here, let's see when it comes out.
I got my whole family into The Mandalorian. They love it. We watched 2 seasons of it, like crushed it, knocked them out. We need to finish the third one before the movie, but they absolutely love it. Absolutely love it now. The girls started going to brush their teeth. They like to listen to music when they brush their teeth in the mornings and at night. And they started playing Star Wars music. Or so they go in there to brush their teeth and I hear Star Wars come on. It's pretty fun.
So it takes place roughly 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So around 9 to 10 ABY.
So still like the same timeline as Mando. Like it's right there. Yeah, nothing. It's like back to back to back to back.
Oh, it follows the events of Mandalorian Season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. That makes sense.
So, okay. Cool.
Let's just continue. So yeah, we definitely need to watch Season 3 before Mando movie. And then we have to watch Maul before our next episode.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Mando movies in like 10 days. 9. Doesn't matter to this episode because I don't know when it's going to get edited. I want to get it soon. So, all right. Back to Hera and Poe. Where do you think? I'd say we kind of break it down. Like we kind of thought Zeb was better at this and
so
Poe would
dogfighting Poe instantly.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Hera would get a couple of good shots on him. I don't think it would be a complete one-sided fight.
Yeah, I think she's smart too, so I think she could figure something out to at least prolong it.
Yeah, but I think she would, in the end, she would have to forfeit or die if it's a battle to the death. But I don't think she would win that battle unless she ran, and even then, that's still technically losing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if it's maneuverability, Hera wins, even in Ghost, which is a much bigger ship than Poe's X-Wing.
Yeah, and that's where I think she shines, is because she mostly is in like that cargo big type of ships.
Yeah, and still manages to outmaneuver like TIE fighters.
Yeah, and then she's also able to. We talk about Poe jumping in. She's gone in and done like Republic cruisers. She's piloted or Imperial Star. Like she's piloted something big. I don't quite remember. My memory's not quite there. It's terrible for a podcast, I know. But she can also pilot. But you're right. She's not into the dogfighting things. She's going to be a much overall better pilot, I think. I think then that also makes her better, like, as a tactician. She can see as opposed to just dialing in to one thing, right? Like Maverick in what is it? Oh my gosh, Top Gun. Have you ever seen Top Gun?
Mm-hmm.
Maverick in Top Gun is like fantastic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Iceman is a cool-headed, level person who is able to climb the ranks and be also a great pilot, but then more. And that's kind of so far what I see in Poe versus Hera, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, she has piloted a Star Cruiser.
Okay.
It is the a combat variant of the MC-80 Mon Calamari Star Cruiser. So like the big one that you see in the original Star Wars and stuff. The Mon Calamari ship,
Okay.
Admiral Akbar's ship.
Yeah, right.
It's a trap.
I thought there was something big. And I write these things down, and I don't put any references to them, but it's not helpful for us. It's not. I need to be a little bit more descriptive.
And I need to be a little quicker at my Google searches so we don't have.
All right, so I think that's where we stand with Poe and Hera.
Yeah. We didn't really discuss like fighting, like hand to hand. I think
hand to hand. Yeah, I mean,
hand to hand. I think it's going to Hera. She's proven herself against better odds than he ever has.
Yes.
And I think even with blasters, I think she would still win.
Yeah.
But get him into a dogfight, Poe would take the cake.
I agree. Thanks again for listening or not to the R2 Detour Bros. This episode, again, we talked a few characters. We kind of put them head to head. We had Zeb versus Chewie, favorite Chewbacca. Everybody knows Chewie. Zeb's growing in popularity. We feel it. And we have Hera Syndulla versus Poe Dameron. Next episode, we're talking Maul. The 10-part series out on Disney. We're going to talk our thoughts on that. We're both going to finish it before we watch that. We'll talk about Mando and Grogu movie as well. Please leave us your thoughts and comments in whatever platform you're listening to us on. Check us out on Facebook also. We're at 2 polls today. Check it out. Leave us your favorite. Zeb versus Chewie or Hera versus Poe?